Welcome back to On The Go Gyan, your pocket dose of podcast Gyan. My name is Rohit.
I am Ajay.
And in this episode, we are going to talk about blogging. So, welcome to everyone and welcome to the 11th episode of On The Go Gyan. Ajay, is it 11th?
Yes.
I think it is 11th. Yes, it is 11th. And today we are going into, I'll call it the prequel of podcasting. Blogging, because blogging was the first thing that became so famous and then everything moved to podcasting, and we have one of the blogging champions with us who has been blogging from I think 2006. I'm right? It was 2006 when you wrote your first blog, and abhinavbhatt.com is the website. You can just go there. It's a beautiful blogging, and Abhinav posts his blogs every day. I've known him through Toastmasters again, and I think Abhinav started his Toastmasters journey a year before I did. Am I right, Abhinav?
2016.
Around about there. I started in 2017. So welcome, Abhinav, to the podcast, and thank you so much for accepting to talk about blogging, because I have zero clue about blogging and I really want to learn so much about blogging. So why don't you introduce yourself for our audience?
Thank you so much, Rohit and Ajay. It's a pleasure for me because I've been listening to your podcast from a long time now. I can say long time means it is successful. So I've been listening to it from a long time, and it's really, really good to hear my friends talking about something which is good for everybody, not just for Toastmasters or for communication. Like the episode about languages was really enlightening. Your guest had known so many languages I couldn't even count. So for me, so my name is Abhinav, and I work in Oracle, but I've been blogging since 2006-7, and that time the blogging scene was really good. As in, very soon I could make friends with people. That was pre-Facebook era, you can say. I joined Facebook in 2009 or 2008, but through blogging I made so many friends of like-minded people, and that journey is still going on. So even if podcast has come to this level, but blogging is the first step to reach that point, I guess. Apart from blogging, I like designing as well. So I also made a blog for graphical design some time back. That also got a little popular, more than my usual blog. Yeah, so that's it.
Now that I think about it, 2006 I was giving my 7th class exams.
Right.
I
I have actually made an attempt in blogging. I think back in 2012 or so. I did start my own blog. I wrote a couple of posts, but then I kind of lost interest over there. So, Abhinav, I want to know from you, what is it that has kept you going for 14 years?
The very classic answer I would say is the ability to express something. If I feel something about an event, a movie, a book, or any political social event, to get clarity of my own thoughts, what I actually think about it. Because I hear so many opinions, but what I think about it in a proper format. So you can say it's about that. So I write it down. I try to make it readable for myself, so that I can look back at it a little later. So what I can think that in 2011 I was thinking about this. So that is the only thing for me. Like, I was doing it regularly, writing something, so that I can get more clarity about it.
Do you start by writing a journal, or do you start thinking that this is a good article to post on the internet?
So I've done both ways. Sometimes I thought about a topic. I can do you remember the roast which happened? The AIB roast.
Yes.
So I was excited to go and watch it, but when I watched it, I didn't like it. Everybody has opinions about it. So I thought, why people are not liking it in general? I didn't like some jokes. That is one thing. So that was an article in the sense about freedom of expression. What is allowed, what is not allowed. So that was a proper article. Sometimes my experience about something. So if I have been to some situation, I went to some place, how I felt about it then. Again, I try to make it little readable so that I can remember what I was thinking. So it's like that. Sometimes it's opinionated, sometimes it's just a journaling. It's like that.
So
Nice.
what I am understanding is you are writing for yourself.
That is first thing.
And
yes.
that is probably the starting point, and you can then branch it out into whatever you like.
Yeah.
But then how do you, like, I have tried this. I am not a reader, and that inherently becomes I'm not a good writer also. I'm not just good, I'm not a writer itself. I don't really like writing. But how do you like sit down and put your thoughts all into one place and just write it out?
I think, bro, before that question, we should answer one other question for people out there who are not familiar with these concepts. What is a blog? And then I think we can come back to how do we write a blog.
Right.
Abhinav, the way that you have said, I understand it's a platform wherein you put your thoughts together, wherein you write whatever you feel for either yourself or someone else to read. How different is the opinion on your mind?
Okay. So blog is actually just another name for weblog. Long ago when internet started.
Right.
So that was the first kind of website which came up. That what people are doing. There was no social network that time. Just what people are doing. Suppose people went somewhere, they wrote about it. They went to a conference, they wrote about it. That was first thing. So blog is nothing but like a journal or an article which you want to express something in. That is the basic what the blog is in general.
Now that you say it in that way, it puts into perspective a web log, and it could be a log of what you're eating, what you're thinking, what you're doing. Like we have the vlogging thing, daily vlogging and all. It's just in a text format.
Yeah. So the difference is that if I am going in, see, there's a point of getting bored out of it. As in, if you keep posting what I'm doing today, what I ate in the lunch, what I'm going to do, it becomes boring for others.
Right.
So I wanted to make it a little better by trying to make it a little more story-like, like what I've learned in Toastmasters as well as by reading books. To tell your story in a story format. Even if it's an article, there has to be some premise about it. There has to be some opening and the body and conclusion. It all fits in. So if somebody else reads it, why they want to read it, what I'm doing daily? See, vlogging is a little different. Vlogging in the sense people's visual media. People who are vloggers, they also have something good in their life going on. Like there's a vlogger, famous vlogger called Casey Neistat. Or even in India, we have like Flying Beast. Flying Beast is a pilot. So what he's doing in his life, he can tell that people might be interested. But as a general person, common man, what I'm doing daily might not be of use to anybody. But what I've learned out of
engineers
something,
are too many in India.
yeah. But what I've learned out of something might be interesting. What I've learned out of this experience might be interesting. For my initial number of years, the blog I used to write about was placements, and I used to hate them. The placement drive used to happen. In one college, 4,000 students used to come and try their luck. So I used to write about that in the beginning. Because that time also I was coming to the part of my engineering when a placement was about to start. So it was all my frustrations in the beginning. Eventually I also evolved to other things as well.
Right.
I mean, that's actually a very good way to look at it. You say that not just writing what you feel, but converting it into a way where people have takeaways or something to learn from, right? I think that is really inspiring for me.
And for myself also.
Because I am not a fan of... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just curious that we have like different forms of expressing ourselves, right? Like me and Ajay are using this podcast. We have friends who are painters, who sketch. Is blog a similar hobby or a profession or whatever you might call it? Is it similar to that, or do you think all the painting, sketching and all those things as a separate place and blogging is something separate?
Yeah, it's a kind of expression. I don't want to become a writer, but I want to write better. Okay. That is my aim. If I want to write better, if I write 10 times bad blogs, even 11th time it may be a little improved. And also a way of learning. So it's not my blog. I'll tell you about one more blog called, it's a very famous blog across the world. It's called waitbutwhy.com. Wait But Why. It's from a guy called Tim Urban. And the guy was just curious about some things. Like why this, things like that. So he got curious one time about why there are no aliens on the earth till now. So he researched. He started from Wikipedia, very basic, and went down to other articles. Then he reached Fermi paradox and so on and so forth. He learned about it in 5 days, and whatever he learned, and he tried to explain it in layman terms on his blog.
Okay.
So it's a huge article, it's a big article, but same way it works for me as well. So I was trying to learn about Bitcoin. So if you want to learn about Bitcoin, if I can learn myself and then I can write in a easier format, it might be technical, but how can I explain it even more layman terms? So that is one way to learn. So by writing it out, again I get more clarity of what I know. That also works as well.
Right.
So it's a kind of expression.
Prune your own thought.
Yes.
I'm liking Ajay is awfully quiet.
Yeah, I'm actually very interested to know a lot about blogging because the way I see it, you have almost 14 years of your life documented on the web, right? Is there any particular incident that you remember where you have referred your blog and it helped you, or it benefited you a lot? Anything?
So can I bring Toastmasters into context?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So CC speech, right? CC is a thing.
Competent communicator.
Yeah. So out of 10 speeches, at least 6 of them were direct copy paste from my blog. Direct copy paste, because I did not make any effort. I had an incident which required a lot of body language. It came into picture directly. I went with my friends to a place. It was a haunted place that became a voice modulation speech.
Wow.
Just by writing it out, it worked easily for me.
And it said, right, if you're writing something down, you remember it more vividly also. So when you're put in a spot and you have to tell something, all these things actually will come to your mind. Am I right?
That works a lot. So earlier I used to write once in a while, as in one blog in 2 months. But that doesn't work properly because not just writing, it's just again renting out on a special day. So last few days I thought I'll write daily. So it's now more than 2 months I'm writing daily.
How is that experience?
That is really good. I'm trying it out for last 3 years. Last 3 years actually. I wrote a blog in 2017 December. From Jan 1st, 2018 I'll write daily. And like always happens, if you declare something, it doesn't work. So I wrote for 9 days, then I gave up. Then again, in 2019 also I tried. Even though it's in lockdown, I said I'll document every day what I'm feeling. This is lockdown because it's anyway so mind-boggling. I'll write something. I didn't write for 6 months. And eventually I write in August. I said now enough is enough. I'll just write. I'll just see. No commitment, no target. I'll just write daily. That is working out great.
Do you think writing daily will have an impact on the quality of the article that you're putting out?
Yes. I know some bloggers who are writing since decades now, daily.
Wow.
So one guy is Seth Godin. You might have heard about him. If you not, just search for Seth's blog on Google.
Okay.
This guy is writing about marketing since 2002 or something. He was probably the first guy who started this newsletters thing. He's from that era. He's a TEDx speaker and so many things he has done. There's one more guy, Indian guy called Rohan Rajiv. And he's writing from 2008. 12 years have passed. And daily they are writing. And if you look at their writing 12 years ago and now, huge difference. Huge difference. So that is one inspiration for me. If I write daily, first of all, I will have document everything. all my things will be documented, what I'm feeling about that day. Secondly, I learn to write more better. That is for sure. Because to write also I need some content. So I need to read books. I need to read more, basically, to learn more. That is my aim now.
So, Abhinav, you mentioned that last 2 months you're writing daily, right? And we all know that not every day in life is the same. Some days you are extremely busy, some days you are extremely lazy. All kinds of days do happen. Sorry about that. Do you have any common flavor or common aspect on your life on a daily basis that motivates you to write or that gives you content to write? Is there any such common thing?
Yeah, it's difficult to write daily. That is one thing I've noticed. So since I have no compulsion to write, and there's nobody looking at if I don't post today, what happened tomorrow? But I made a commitment myself that I need to write something. Some days I write just 2 lines, or a quote I like, or a book I'm reading. As simple as that. Or sometimes I like for a week, if I'm watching a TV series, I'll write its review on Saturday. Or an app I'm using a lot, an app is actually good. Why not share it with others? So for 2-3 days, I'll just share what I'm experiencing, which might be good for others. For some other days, I can just write what my feeling is.
How you're feeling that day? Nice. I mean, lot of curiosity, but yeah, it's good to hear from Abhinav.
I'm just wondering that won't someone who's posting every day be different from someone who's posting like maybe once a week? And how do you see if I go into the technical terms, viewership change for both styles?
See, I feel anything you do consistently need not be every day. Even in 1 month, if you post once, eventually you're going to improve. So 1 week is also fine. If once a week you share something, that is also good. I'm going a bit extreme by doing
consistency
it daily.
Is the key.
Yes. You'll feel it. If you not write for some time, you'll feel okay. There's a huge writer's block has come in. So I was facing this earlier. So I mentioned Seth Godin once. So what he said that you never get talker's block. You want to speak every day. So how can you get writer's block? You can't type. That's the only constraint you have. If you can talk daily, you can also write daily. So that is a huge inspiration.
I mean, since you have said talker's block, I think me and Ajay have that.
Right.
If for some reason we skip, it's so difficult to come back and record again.
Yeah, that is
But yeah, consistency being the key is what I'm taking away from this part of the entire thing.
Yeah.
I think we should focus a little more on people who are willing to write a blog. Do you have any takeaways, Abhinav, for someone who's totally fresh, who's just listening to, let's say, music on their phones, and they suddenly think of they want to write a blog? What should they do?
Okay. So people spend a lot of time on this. What should I write about? What should I write about? What should my blog look like? And what should be the title of the blog, the logo of the blog? I will say just go to wordpress.com or tumblr.com or any site you take, start writing. Don't think too much. Nobody is going to get famous in one day. Anyways, nobody is going to like your blog because of the title. First write. Unless you write, it will not get better. So just write whatever you feel like. I know people who write poetry. And they never shared, they were very introverts, so they didn't share it to the world. But when they write, it came out really beautifully. Just poetry, 2 lines, 3 lines daily. Somebody was good at cooking, and they were not willing to share video what they're cooking. They write about it in a recipe. Somebody else might get benefited. So that is just start is the key. Just start.
But then what is the motivation to put it on internet? I mean, you can write and keep it with yourself also, right?
Yes. So that is, I think, one way to say is that if you declare anything about your feeling to public, it gets strengthened more. That is one thing. I don't know how to put into words, but if you feel something daily, you feel about it much more stronger. If you're doing it on a diary, in a dear diary, I'm doing this. Um, I don't know how much that will be relevant. And what I feel is that if you know something, why not share it? Because public anonymity, you can write whatever you want, but by taking your name, like my blog is my own name, and I'm declaring in public. So whatever criticism will come, also will come in my way. Not that I have huge leadership, but whoever reads my blog, they give me some feedback. And since I writing daily, people are giving me feedback. So if I write in my own secret corner, then again, how will I improve?
I think you are coming from the aspect that you want to learn how to write better. Maybe someone who is not so willing, but then what I understand is there is that one sense that someone else is also seeing this. So I can't think how will it have an impact, but I can definitely think about that there will be a difference in how I feel about what I'm writing.
Subconsciously.
Right, because if I'm doing Dear Diary, I can write anything.
Yeah.
Anything that even if I don't want people to read it. But then if it's going on the website, I will think twice, do I really write this? Like we do it in podcast. Ajay sometimes gets very silent. And I really like getting back this topic every now and then. I don't know, Abhinav, if you have... it was hobbies episode and we started talking about drinking and Ajay went mute.
I think it has happened 2 or 3 times so far in our podcast, and this is the 3rd time for the record of it.
And I really enjoy that when Ajay absolutely goes mute and he's like wishing, let this topic pass by, let this topic pass by.
I want to write about why you should not drink, but I contain myself a lot because like who am I to tell about this to anybody? But there's so many things I've written earlier in the past. It's very personal. I should not have written about it. So that is a learning I learned in like 10 years. Do not share everything you do. Do not share everything. Because your diary is Dear Diary and blog is still blog. It's a web blog.
Did you go back and like when you thought that I should not have written it, gone back and deleted it?
I didn't delete it, I made it private. So it's there for me to see. Like when I was starting blogging, I was in college. And my mindset was really different that time. The language you see is half Hindi, half English. English also. Totally not professional at all. If somebody reads it now, they'll just laugh. I've not hidden everything, but some things were maybe like silly, you can just say. So that is also a reminder for me that okay, I should not write everything, and putting on public, I need to filter a little bit.
How do you draw that line? What you should filter, what you should not?
Comes with time. Like when I was in college, I was still like 19, 20 years old. So that time a teenage just starting to add proper adult sense will have something silly to point out. The language will be different. Now I'm in 30s, so I know what is okay, what is not okay. But I'm not deleting everything which is from past because again that is a memory for me now. It's what I used to think that time. So it's a reminder to again change something new.
Right.
Right. I mean, this aspect that Rohit has brought in is a very interesting one. So, Abhinav, have you ever gone back, edited or deleted any of your content? Apart from this episode that you mentioned, making it private.
I might have, for sure. I might have put people's name there. Name.
Oh.
Not
okay.
even just name, even politics sometimes. Which I felt is not right. That is a huge learning for me. Even like you might feel about a social issue at one point of time. But you might change your mind about it later. So I did not hide the fact that I was disaligned earlier. But what I've learned from something from it. So putting people's name, something, pointing it directly at somebody might not be right. Unless it is coming from a proper source. Okay, this happened with this person. So, I try to make it more generic with time instead of pinpointing to a particular person.
Right. So, recent episodes and all you say, you would have made it really clear and clean.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you're being more cautious.
not more cautious. In fact, I'm being more brave now to not to put out everything in anything. It's it's like I'll give you an example. Maybe in 2011, 2012 time, when Nirbhaya can't happen. So that time everybody was angry. So I also vented out a lot of things against the government, against the certain people. And when times have changed, nothing has changed in the society. So that was my unnecessary venting out at something or some politician or somebody. It's of no use. So that is correcting myself. So I was not right that time. It's a learning opportunity for me. So next time I put out something in a public forum or in a speech, I should be careful about it. I should look at it from a different perspective, not just from one mind, not from one perspective.
You're talking about what things you've learned personally. Do you think your blogging has helped you professionally?
People come sometimes, like if, at least from Toastmaster perspective, I have mentored people that help how to format a proper writing in such a way. Professionally, it has not helped me directly, you can say, but sometimes it shows. I have made some relationships because of blogging. Some friendships I have made, and I'll tell you from 2008 to 2009 until 2012 it was when Facebook became too much. Before that, people used to blog. The friends I made then, people who are also want to become a writer or they had already writing skills, they used to write. I'm friends with them still now, and they guided me. So it's not about personal blog. Mine is a personal blog. Some people write about psychology. Some people write about something about professional, how to be better in office. So those things I learned a lot. So that has helped me. Not just my own writing, but blogging in general from other people.
You're part of that community where you get to learn new things from others also around you.
Yeah. Now it's not too much. Back in like one decade ago, you can say. We used to meet in Bangalore. Indie blogger meet used to happen. We could go there, chat with people. Online itself, I had made some friends. We made joint blogs with different people. So one time I had a blog with a person in Hyderabad, Nepal, Delhi, and Gujarat. So 4 corners of the world. I was in Jaipur that time, but I came to Bangalore a little later. So 4 people from different backgrounds and with no common meeting point. We never met with each other. We started a blog, and that blog was totally like pop culture blog, and it worked that time a lot. Through my graphical blog, we made a community out of graphic designers. So at least 60-70 people. So it was not a textual blog, it was a graphical blog. People had to post posters. About 60-70 people got into touch with me. I became friends with them, and they were proper designers as a professionally. I was just an amateur hobbyist. So I got to learn about them. I learned from them that what an actual designer will do in this context. That helped me a lot. That community building is a good thing, really good thing.
Right.
Yeah, so Twitter thing I've tried. I have been Twitter from 2008. So that is a different ballgame altogether. But if you use Twitter properly, it might be useful. So first of all, expressing something in 140 characters was not enough. People used to write tweet storms and all. So that is what I have spent a lot of time on Twitter, on Facebook, and wrote a lot. It's total nonsense also. Then again I came back to blogging. Well, I thought, okay, 140 characters are not enough for me. Now it's 280, but still not enough for me. If I want to express something, I want to express properly. So there should be no foundation as such. There should not be any people commenting on it, no trolling. People can troll in comments. I just can read. No, ignore them to read. Proper content, what I want to feel about it, I want to write about. I can write at my own will, anywhere I want. So again, my own opinions, just for myself. If somebody can get benefit out of it, superb. That is my motto now.
That's a very good message. Your thoughts or your feelings cannot be expressed in 140 characters or whatever limit that is. That's good.
Yeah.
Rohit, do you have anything else to Abhinav?
I'm actually taking away that it's important to find a way to express yourself. And for Abhinav, that way was blogging. For someone else, it might be something different. But then I've got a lot of good dump. And probably I will start writing a blog. I mean, I have a WordPress website where I've written a couple of things, but then I'm not consistent with it. So I am taking away a lot of things that I have to start writing. And it doesn't matter how it looks, but start.
Right.
Yeah, just start.
And I will make it a point, if at all I want to recollect something in future, I'll surely write it down. The best and easiest way.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you so much, Abhinav, for your time. It's actually a very good pleasure, and it has been our privilege to host you, a very professional blogger who has been doing this for 14 years now, to be featured on our podcast. So thank you so much again for your time, and thank you for joining us in this episode.
Thank you so much for calling me. It's a huge pleasure for me as well. And I think you are doing a great job. Podcasting is the future, for sure. Till video becomes everything. So podcasting is a great way to express. I had my own minds about it, podcasting and all, long ago. So I'll get technical bits of whatever learning I can get from your podcast. I'll learn it from it, and probably one day I'll have my own podcast. But not for now. Right now I'm only just writing.
Nice. Best of luck for that as well. That's it for the episode about blogging with Abhinav Bhatt. Please feel free to reach out to Abhinav on the links that we provide in the notes. And also, please do check his blog if you have not seen it already. You will be very happy that you have visited the site. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you in our next episode. Stay healthy and stay safe.